Greetings, everyone. We are here today because while the Supreme Court has eliminated affirmative action for our minority communities, affirmative action for wealthy and well-connected is still very much present in college admissions. It comes in the form of legacy admissions, that is, for students of alumni, and for the children of alumni and the children of significant donors. The perspective I bring to this comes from that of being a blue-collar kid whose parents strongly encouraged me to believe that education represented the doors of opportunity. My father said if you go through the doors of the schoolhouse and you work hard, you can do almost anything because we live here in America. I thought that's really cool. But they really had no conception of what colleges were about because no one in my family had ever gone to college. And it was simply not a topic of general information the way it is for so many families where the parents have gone to college. But nonetheless, through a combination of seizing some leadership opportunities and some talent in math, I was admitted to a Ivy League status school, Stanford. And I went down there, sight unseen. I quickly discovered how different my experience was from the vast bulk of students. I discovered they had visited the campus before agreeing to attend. I had no idea that anyone visited campuses. The idea you would travel to visit a campus? Who could have possibly afford to do that? I discovered that students had been planning, by and large, almost all of them, for how to get into Stanford, essentially from the time they could talk to their parents about it, or how to get into a major university. They had benefited in many cases from private schools and elite educations. They had benefited from summer academic and enrichment programs. They had benefited from classes on preparing for SATs. Who knew those existed? I certainly didn't. And they had benefited from coaches on their essays. All of this was just a completely foreign world to me. That's the perspective I bring, is that every seat that a university reserves for the already wealthy and well-connected, that is, the children of donors and the children of alumni, is a seat not available to a more qualified individual who comes from a financially challenged background or who comes from a minority community. So the less qualified are being given, if you will, a golden path in that takes away the opportunity of the more qualified individuals. At many of our major universities, 10 to 15% of the seats, sometimes more, are reserved for donors and reserved for the children of alumni. In short, affirmative action for the affluent, the well-connected, the children of alumni, the children of donors, is alive and well. And it's not a form of affirmative action that serves our country well. It takes away from the diversity on the campus. It takes away from the fairness of opportunity for all to get into the college. I've thought about the fact that if there were another 5% of seats at my college reserved for the children of donors or the children of alumni, maybe I wouldn't have gotten in, even if I was more qualified than they were. So we have discrimination against children more qualified from challenged backgrounds and in favor of less qualified from affluent backgrounds. What kind of a sense of opportunity is that? The solution is the bill that we're putting forward today, the Fair College Admissions for Students Act. If you maintain legacy admission seats, if you maintain seats for donors, then financial aid is unavailable to that college, and that is a very significant factor. Every student deserves to follow their dreams. Every student deserves to go through those doors of opportunity that my father talked about. Every student from a background that is challenged but is more qualified than the child of donor deserves to get the seat in that college admission class. So I am really pleased that this is a bipartisan bicameral effort, hopefully bipartisan as we continue to advocate for it. And let me turn over the podium and the mic to Congressman and Dr. Jamal Bowman, who has spent his career as a teacher, as a principal, and now as a member of Congress, striving to unlock those doors of opportunity.